The sun doesn't revolve around us. We revolve around the sun. In fact, multiple planets revolve around our sun. This is called Earth's orbit. It takes 365.25 days, or 1 year, for the Earth to travel around the sun once. As the Earth orbits the sun, the Earth itself rotates on an imaginary line called the axis. This imaginary line starts at the North Pole, goes through the Earth's core, and ends at the South Pole. The Earth takes 24 hours to complete one full rotation on its axis.
Contrary to popular belief, the Earth's axis is not straight up and down. Instead, the axis is tilted roughly 23.4 degrees. The axial tilt is what causes us to have different seasons. The Earth is divided into two hemispheres, northern and southern. The hemisphere that is tilted towards the sun receives more sunlight, and the hemisphere tilted away from the sun receives less sunlight. This is what causes the different seasons. The amount of sunlight exposed to the surface of the Earth also determines the seasons.
Solar eclipses and lunar eclipses are special events. For these to happen, the sun, earth, and moon need to be in a single file line. The moon orbits the earth every 29.5 days. A solar eclipse is when the moon is in front of the sun, creating what looks like a black hole in the circle, or a black circle in the sky with light oozing from the edges. A lunar eclipse is an event where the moon orbits directly behind the earth, away from the sun. When this happens, the sun, earth, and moon are aligned exactly.
As the moon orbits around the Earth, the moon seems like it changes shape, when really what's happening is the amount of area on the moon being lit up by the sun changes. The moon appears to change from a crescent to a circle back to a crescent. These different appearances are called the phases of the moon. A synodic month is the time it takes the moon to revolve around the Earth. There are 4 phases of the moon. First we have the new moon. This is when the moon is between the sun and the Earth, causing the sunlit side to face away from the Earth. After the new moon, a small line of light can be seen on the eastern side. Next we have the first quarter. Eventually people on Earth will be able to see half the moon's light side. It is called the first quarter because 1/4 of the synodic month has passed. Now we have a full moon. During this time, the Earth is between the moon and the sun. The entire sunlit side of the moon can be seen. Last we have the last quarter. Now only half the moon can be seen again. Eventually the moon returns back to where it started, between the Earth and the sun, taking us back to the new moon phase.
There are 2 equinoxes each year. An equinox is when the sun passes the imaginary line known as the equator. Equinoxes last approximately 1 day, and this is the 1 day where night and day are equal length across the Earth. On this day, sunlight is also spread evenly across the northern and southern hemispheres.
The moon has a weak gravitational pull, but since it's close enough to the Earth, its pull can create tides here on Earth. Water is being pulled by the force, causing the Earth to bulge like so.